I have found such a love for Ford now for just quietly chilling in the background.
Making strong commuter sedans. That's what they. I didn't know this. You mentioned earlier, like the success that Ford had early on in Formula One as well. I didn't realize that back in the 60s, Ford showed up and were just like, here's a motor.
Dominating.
And they crushed. They won 4
I had no
Grand
clue.
Prix in, was it 1967 or 1969? The first year they won 4 Grand Prix in
67.
their debut season. And I had no idea. The DFV, is that what it was called?
The DFV,
Yeah.
the Ford DFV racing engine is what came out, and that's also what Michael Schumacher's first world championship in '94 was a Ford motor too.
Crazy.
So '67 Ford enters Formula One with Cosworth.
Yep.
Like that was their kind of start back then, and then. They in '67 in its debut year, they powered Lotus to second in the Constructors' Cup, and they powered Jim Clark to third in the Drivers' Championship.
Crazy.
And then in their 4 races in '67 debut season, and then in '68 Lotus lost the exclusive rights to the DFV engine, and Ford supplied engines to check this out. To Lotus, McLaren, and Matra.
Dude, stacking up the contracts.
Right, with Jackie Stewart driving for him as well. And then let's see here. That's too sad. I don't want to read that.
Yep.
And then a lot of people died with these. But when you're powering everything, that what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But then that DFV motor is the most winning motor in Formula One history.
Fascinating.
That particular motor has won fucking everything.
Yeah.
And in 1969, Ford won every single race in an 11-race season.
Unbelievable.
Their motor did.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy is this?
That's insane. It's wild to think about the domination that I just didn't know they had, like the legacy of F1, and like Ford doesn't really call upon that for their marketing. They
At
don't
all.
They have so much heritage in Formula One that they could be using more of. I feel like, but
Right.
obviously now they're back in it and they'll probably be using that more. But such a cool story. Like I didn't know that they had so much history in F1.
It's
cool.
really crazy. And so I love this. In '69, Matra Ford was first in the Constructor Cup, with Barabam Ford, whatever it is, second, Lotus Ford third, and McLaren Ford fourth. First, second, third, and fourth.
Insane.
They I mean, Ford is fucking killing it, dude. And then it just keeps going of them dominating year after year. I mean, like this little timeline here is like 32 entries deep of just how crazy Ford is. Ford's beating Ferrari, they're beating BMW, and you're right, they never. And then in '95, it's when they started to see the decline of Ford engines, and it did power Jos Verstappen around.
Nice.
Which is
The decline.
I wonder if for real, this was the start of the finish.
Yeah.
It was Jos Verstappen. Yeah, in all ways, but. And I mean, it just keeps going and going and going until '05 when they got out of it. But what a fucking.
So cool.
Oh, this is why in 2003, it was the last Ford win. Because in 2002, the Jaguar team was 7th, and they were just starting to get bad and bad and bad. In 2001, there were no wins for Ford Jaguar. They were 8th in Constructor Cup, so they just kind of like kept falling down from there. And I think in 2005, they sold Jaguar to Red Bull, and then that was done.
They were wash their hands,
from there.
move on out.
But you're right. Like, I'm surprised they haven't called on that.
Yeah.
And also, too, I have found such a love for Ford now for just quietly chilling in the background.
Making strong commuter sedans. That's what they...
I was going to say keeping this merger quiet, but that one too.
True. Yeah,
Making
just
escorts and
waiting to make their shot, and then doing it on such a huge stage to the launch of the season.
it's weird because now I'm like, all right, well, can we get to 2026 yet?
Yeah, I know.
I know,
wanna, like, start,
can we
let's
just
go,
not?
Let's go. Yeah.
Can we not wait for this?
Yeah. Blow through these car launches and get there. Yeah.